How's everybody doing? Over to me live. I got to sync these up because I couldn't, I think, perfectly sync them. Great to have you. I think everybody made it. Hopefully you made it. Let's get you over here. Everybody in the house? Everybody transfer over? Let me know here you're with me live. We'll go through the two morals of the story. How's everybody? All right, happy Thursday it is, right? I hope you enjoyed that premiere. If you just joined me cold at 11:21, I'm Andy, your affable career coach. Great to have you at live office hours. We're going to be talking about some compensation stuff. Your questions about compensation today. It was in the wake of getting paid more by knowing your value. I hope you enjoyed that recorded video. If you watched it, you're here with me live. What are the two morals of the story? You don't pay the plumber to bang on the pipes. You pay the plumber because the plumber knows where to bang, right? That's why my plumbers is so expensive. I don't know about your plumbers. You get that? You all are trying to sell your PMP certifications and your MBAs. No one cares. Do you know where to bang? That's number one. What was number two? Career Coach Andy, $47 got you into the resume writing webinar. I taught you everything there was to know about writing the webinar, and I even reviewed it for you for $47. Today, it's $2,047. Same guy, same skills, same quality service. What's the moral of the story? My product did not change at all. Maybe a few tweaks here and there. Negligible. I grew the hell out of my sales skills and marketing skills, just like I want you to grow the hell out of your job searching skills and storytelling skills and negotiation skills. That's the difference. So let's spend some time focusing on that. Cool? All right, Kara, let's grab some questions. I would prefer compensation or salary questions, but you know what? I'll take anything. A couple things really quick. I am giving you a gift today. If you don't have it, I have a skill building booklet that will help you understand how to evolve the skills that you can grow, that will help you enjoy your career more, create more value for others. It's my leadership and skill building roadmap. All you need to do is Kara can swap the pin. And if you haven't seen this booklet, it's I know a lot of coaches and even I do. I really like giving simple giveaways to you. I know people like to be focused. They like simple downloads. This is not one of those. This is a 46-page booklet that lays out my skill building methodology. And you can see it. It's also housed in the Zebra Code, where we have a two for one deal that you can grab. But I take you through all of these tiers of skill building as I see it. And I'm not gonna review all this for you today, but I want you to know that this booklet not only has the breakdown of all of this, and it's free. And I write it up for you so you can learn what these different tiers are. And there's an assessment that you can go through. There's also a checklist in the back. You can kind of rate yourself. I teach you how to create your skill building plan. It's really, really a nice book. There's some other things. It's free. Kara is getting that in the chat. I highly encourage you to grab it. Because it really will help you in developing those skills, understanding what skills pay, what skills are right for you based on your profession. If you're in my leadership coaching program, there are also, maybe I can get these down so you can see it a little bit more. There's not only an action plan in here for everybody, but if you're in my leadership coaching program, there's also There's also a quick access guide here with links to everywhere in the leadership library where all these links are actual video-based lessons with workbooks at each of the different levels. I've housed all of these different skills and lessons that we've already taught in the last 6 years since the leadership program has been going. It's really, really great. So if you're in the program, make sure you have that. You should. It's the first thing I tell you to get when you join after you join the program. So I've really enjoyed putting that together for you. I hope you grab it. All right, let's get some questions. I got a few announcements today too, and then we'll get to those a little later. Grace. Andy, what's the script for asking for more once the new employer makes you an offer? Okay, there's a number of things that I highly recommend. The first thing is the whole theme of the value that you're creating. In order to show that you're worth more, you need first to show that you can produce more value. Just because you have skills does not mean, because I haven't seen you in action, that you know how to apply those skills. Now, hopefully I'm getting some of that in the interviewing process, but somebody else with equal skills, in my mind, might be just as good, might be able to pay them even less. So you need to make an argument that you're worth more based on the goals that you're trying to help them achieve, the problems you'll help them overcome, and that you have the right kind of background to help them achieve higher goals because you're already familiar with their existing problems, and so on and so forth. And so the first thing that I want you to do before you make any counteroffer is we put together, in my premium program, we have the members put together what I call the salary negotiation grid. And I'm not going to show that to you because that's behind the paid wall for members of my job search coaching program. But before I can give you the script, you need to put that together because you need to actually confirm what those goals are, to what degree you're going to solve them, what that's going to mean in terms of benefit for them, and also get their agreement that this is what success looks like and this is the value it means to me. And if you don't have that information, it completely weakens your ability to ask for more money. Because if you can't show me you're worth more, so an example I use a lot of times is, geez, I'd like 10 more leads in the Mile Walk Academy that could be potential customers. If you can get me 10 more a day, that'd be worth something to me. But what happens if you can convince me that you can get me 100 more a day? Somewhere along the way in that interviewing process, you better have asked me, what's my lead to customer conversion and what's the average lifetime value of a customer? If you don't ask me that and you're interviewing for a marketing position with me, you're never going to get the job. So as long as you asked me that, you're going to know if you could get me 10 more leads than I was hoping for, maybe you get me 20, you just doubled what my ultimate revenue goal would be because you could punch the numbers just and multiply and divide and add and subtract just as well as I can. So you need to have this insight. When you go to actually, and let me fast forward now to having the dialogue. The other thing that you want to do is you want to ask questions to make sure that you fully understand the offer. What's going to happen when you ask these questions, and again, in the premium program, I give you 50 different literally 50 different questions to choose from. An assortment, a whole menu, so that you know what to look for so that you understand the offer, because you have to look at, well, okay, you're giving me a salary, but what about the healthcare? And the healthcare over here just cost me $1,000 a month, and now you're going to cost me $2,000 a month, so the $12,000 raise you got me is technically zero. Right? You need to understand all these things. When you go through this process, which is a prerequisite step to you counteroffering, when you ask your questions, the employer, in the employer's mind, their offer's not going to sound as good as they thought it was, because now you're truly trying to understand what the real compensation value of what they're giving you is. All right. So once you have those steps done, you do not ever make a counteroffer unless you have a written offer or Or if an employer is unwilling to give you a full written offer, then you need to make them write down in an email or in some form all of the information that they absolutely know to be true. Meaning, your salary is this, your sign-on bonus is this, your back-end bonus is that, your target is this for here, we give you a long-term incentive plan of this, we give you a stip of that, and so on and so forth. Here are the attached medical benefits, the premiums, the dental, the vision, the 401k, and so you've got to have enough information to make a counter, because if you don't have that, you don't have a full grasp of what you're signing on for. And you might notice, or you might alter your counter based on the fact that you don't even have to pay your medical premiums for your family of 10, right? Isn't that a great thing? Or they give you $7,000 in educational expenses to pay and, get coached up on anything you want. You might find all these other things attractive. If you don't know those are there, it's very difficult to make a sound argument. Okay, you get all your ducks in a row, and you don't do a thing before your ducks are in a row. But I know some employers are going to say, well, we're not going to put the contract together because you have to go on our system and hit a button that says you're all okay with everything. Then we're going to duke it out before you put that all together. But I need enough information to know what I'm shooting at. And then when you get to the spot, you're going to do a number of things in the script. You need to confirm that you are lucid and of sound mind. I know you're laughing right now, and I'm not kidding. You need to use terms, nomenclature that tell them, I know exactly what I'm doing. Meaning, I, Andy, have complete command and control of what I'm getting myself into, because once I make a decision, I'm committed to it. You've given me enough information so that I'm confident I'm making an educated decision. You're not going to use all these words. You're going to use different language to actually convey that. I have a full understanding of what I'm getting myself into based on, and then you're going to have to go to your grid to show them what it is that you're going to do for them based on what you want me to do, the goals we discussed, the issues, the whatever, my ability to help you achieve what you told me the value is going to be, what this means in tangible and intangible terms. This could be, you might be stuffing things in and the political capital that we are now going to get, the repairing of the relationships that are now tainted because the predecessor that you had to fire is gone, but Andy, the champ, is in here and he's going to fix everything. You're going to go through very quickly, and you only need to slide through this because theoretically you've already gone through your grid with them and you've had a full discussion on this. And when you do that, you could say, okay, you shared all this. We agreed on that based on everything we showed and the fact that I'm going to make these impacts for you. Then you get to your ask, and you ask for everything commingled together all at once. Is there a way you can create a first year's compensation for me of, insert the number, in aggregate? That means sign-on bonus, salary, back-end bonus. Stock could be separate, but you commingle the number. Why do you want to commingle the number? Because you're going to go back to their number commingled all together so that your number doesn't look so in a different atmosphere. But what you also want to do is you want it to be a big bucket of things, because they may or may not be able to change certain things. They may or may not be able to give you a sign-on. They may or may not be able to raise the salary. They may or may not be able to adjust the bonus, the quarterly bonus, the annual bonus. They may be able to do other things. So what you're trying to do is you're going to say, when you get to this number, if you can get me to this number any way you can, I give you my word, I will drop everything, and here's my start date. You need to do this. Why do you need to do the last couple? Because number one, if I'm going to throw a number back to you, they want assurances that you're going to take it if they give it to you, because somebody is going to have to go to somebody else to get approval for that. Some of you are going to be dealing with somebody who could do it right there on the fly, but rare few of you will be able to do that, okay? So most of you, whoever you're talking to, is going to have to turn to somebody. It could be a recruiter or an HR person. They definitely will have to turn to somebody. unless the hiring official said, hang on, I'm willing to go as high as this for her. And if she's here or here or here, it's okay, you go. I'm giving you authority. But most of the time, they want to go back and talk. Sometimes you're talking to a hiring official. The hiring official might have to turn to his or her boss or the management team or the board or whoever. Okay, that's part one. The second part about I'll drop everything. What you need, the reason you need to say that is because that buys insurance dollars. So what do I mean by insurance dollars? So you know how all of you always ask me, well, how do I have a couple of interviews going and I'm getting down to the end and I'm going to get 2 offers or 3 offers and I'm not sure with the sequence they're going to come in and all that good stuff. Well, if you have not been communicating that you have all that traffic, at the end, when you're getting an offer, all that stuff that's hanging out there that they know is hanging out there, they're willing to pay more to buy that off. It's like insurance. Because if you've gone through an interviewing process, you get down to the end and I give you an offer, I want you to take it. Okay? And hopefully, because you've been listening to Coach Andy, you're somebody they can't unsee. Now they're like, oh my God, the next person in line is like falling off the cliff. I can't have it. So I can't let this one go. So now what they start doing is they start saying, well, I didn't want to go to 120. But I only wanted to go to 115, but I'll go all the way to 120 because I don't even want to deal with the extra $5,000 of nonsense. And she gave me her word. And if it's going to be, let's do it. So what they do is they basically pile on dollars. Now, what happens if you pull that out at the end and you make up like that, even if it's a reality, but you haven't notified them that you're interviewing with other companies, and I mean specifically, then you sound like you're lying or you're fibbing. And so everything that I tell you when you ask me questions at live office hours, and sometimes I give you a 1 or 2 or 3 minute answer, there are so many things that are embodied into the why I want you to do something a certain way that might sound counterintuitive to you, but when I can absolutely guarantee, because I personally, as a recruiter, negotiated more than 600 salary negotiations and employment contracts, and as a career coach, well over another 1,500. I mean, like, there's a lot of coaching that I've done in the last, I couldn't even tell you how many years. And as a coach, how many people have salary negotiation sessions with me one-to-one? I'm losing count. I'm telling you, this stuff works. This stuff works. So I hope that helps. Now, if you're in the program, all this stuff is spelled out, chapter verses, all the nuances, all the little ins and outs and all that stuff. But Grace, that's going to get you what you need. Now, if you are a boot camper, if you're in the program, you need to go to the salary negotiation workshop or module 5 of the boot camp, and you'll get all the stuff. Can I get a like? Did you guys like the premiere? And make sure you're subscribed. Can I get a like for that answer on the live show? So I needed 2 likes today. I know it's asking a lot. Let's see. Doug Thompson. I'm down to final 2 for a VP level position. Awesome. Done with interviews and going for a site visit. Guessing salary will be discussed. How do I differentiate against a competitor on value on salary talk? So what first thing is, I'm going to make your answer real short, because the first thing is all of the differentiation for you needed to be done in the interviews. You're not rescuing it at the end. Like, just so y'all know, you make them pay you more, not at the end. The discussion itself is almost an afterthought. It's like this. You did all the marathon training. Now you're just going to run the race at the end. It's more of a formality than anything, but you've done all the training. You've done all the planting of all the seeds that have made me already want to pay you more. So if your interview stories couldn't convince them of that, there's not a whole lot you're going to do on the last day. But you still need to put the grid together. You still need to understand what I say this almost every live show. There are 3 questions you always have to ask along the way. What does success look like? Why do you need to know that? Because you need to make sure, number 1, that you can sell yourself based on how you'll help them achieve that success. That's through the interviewing process. But when you get down to the end and you're going to negotiate, you need to know what success looks like, because you need to put your grid together, because the next question is what problems are standing in the way. So you're also going to show how you know how to take responsibility to do those. You've already solved those problems, or how you will solve those problems so that they feel comfortable. And the third question you're going to ask them is, and if I'm able to help you achieve those goals, what does it mean to you in terms of value, tangible and intangible value? And if you don't have that stuff, you can't make a good argument. So when you get down to the end, if salary comes up, all you need to do at the site visit is just say, put together an offer, and then we can talk. And if they say, well, Doug, what are you thinking? You say, I'm not thinking anything. I'm thinking put together an offer and we'll talk. I'm sure you'll put together an offer that's a great place for us to start the discussions about compensation. And I'm sure I'll have questions, and I'm sure your compensation structure is like every other employer's. It's complicated. It's, as a VP, you're going to have bases, bonuses. You probably have stock. Who knows about those, what kind they are, what the value is. I mean, you don't know any of that stuff. So you start giving information. So that's important. Don't do anything on site. I'm telling you, you are ill-equipped if you go to that site visit without a salary negotiation grid, and they want to have a discussion because they have you there. If you don't have a salary negotiation grid already in hand, meaning through your interviews, you should have enough information that shows you what the goals were, what their problems were, what your responsibilities or purview will look like across the different areas you'll cover, meaning what you're responsible for, the functions, the teams, the solutions, the products, the services, the whatever it is. And then what is it in terms of value? What are you being asked to do as a VP? Is it streamline operations? Are you going to cut costs? Are you going to miraculously redesign, re-engineer, save the money, save on expenses? What is it that you're going to do? If you don't have a handle on that, you can't make a counteroffer. So get that in order. You put a grid together, that actually in and of itself will separate you. Jessica, I sold my value to a hiring manager and now have a second interview with potential peers. Should my stories be different, more technical? I don't know who your peers are, because if the peers are, let's just say, for sake of argument, let's say you're a system engineer and you're meeting with other system engineers because they're on your team, then they're probably going to want to be picking your brain about what you know about whatever the solution is that you're engineering. And they want to understand, what do you know, what your experience is. If your peers are, I had a guy 2 weeks ago, Will, he was interviewing as a chief operating officer. His peers were the CHRO and the CFO, and then he was meeting with the CEO as well. So if you're meeting with those kind of people, then it's about how we're going to work together in order to achieve the goals. They're feeling you out for, am I going to like to work with this woman? So it's going to be a little bit different depending on who your peers are. Yash, I've got an idea about technical skills I want to learn, Azure and Fabric, but employers ask for too much or too little. I'm early in the career, 26. How do I navigate this? Do I just accept it and develop? Okay, now I'm going to give you two completely different answers. If I'm 26, I don't care what I'm doing. No, wait, I'm not being funny. If I'm 26 and I could rewind the clock, all I care about is the company I work for. Get me in the door. I'll pick up the paper off the floor. I just want to be in and around it. Because you join a great company, you're gonna be in Fat City. If you join a crappy company, but you get a great job, or what you think is a great job, you're not gonna be at that company very long. So the first thing is, you have 40 more years to work. What you do today isn't gonna make one hill of beans of difference unless it sets you on the wrong path and you keep stumbling for a long time. So all I care about is the company. I would say I will come in, I will learn. You could pay me as little as possible as long as I get the job. I'm not being funny, because that's how I think $47. Were you here with me? $47 for your resume, the workshop, and the review. So, I mean, I eat my own dog food. So believe me when I tell you, and I was 50 when I was doing that. Now, here's the other thing. Yes, I want you to get paid as much as possible. So that's one extreme example. The other is, well, I have familiarity with these languages, maybe not Azure or Fabric or whatever these are that I'm not sure how to program in or manipulate or whatever, but I do know. And so I don't know if you have the interview intervention book, but on page 58, there is a question about how you educate yourself. It's the way you want to sell yourself whenever you're going into an area where you don't actually know either the solution, the product, the function, the whatever, but you have analogous skills that you've built over, let's say, maybe the 4 years you've been a professional, maybe even longer. What technologies do you know? And what analogies can you draw? So I have yet to use that language, or I've only used it to this extent. You always talk about what you are, not what you're not. But I have used these, which are similar here. You show the similarity. Then whenever I'm faced with a situation where I haven't encountered something already, here's my plan for getting up to speed. And as a technologist, all I care about with technologists are they are technologists, meaning if you are a true technologist, you should be able to pick up anything super fast, right? The more languages you know, the easier it is for you to pick up a new language. That goes for languages actually that people speak. It goes for languages that people write in. So that's the way I look at it. I tell you, you join a company, you don't join a job. Jeff, in a preliminary interview with HR, how do you answer, what are your comp expectations? You say, I don't have any comp expectations. I'm sure if we're right for each other, we'll come to something agreeable or amenable. I'm going to look at the entire offering, the entire value of your package. And that's what I get to do, who I get to do it with, how much I'm going to grow, how much I'm going to be appreciated. I'm sure you have a salary and bonus and other things. Maybe you have 401k matches. Maybe you have stipends for educational. I don't know any of that. So I don't have any expectations because I'm going to look at it all together and add it all up. And that's how I'm going to choose, because there are a lot, more is nicer, but I'm going to look at the whole thing. And then you're going to say to me, but Andy, I gave that answer. And then their face started turning redder than your Shure SM7B wind muff. And then I'm going to say to you, don't sweat it. Just ask them, okay, you seem to be turning purple. If it's that important to you and you need to check your stupid little box, what's your budget? You must have a range in mind. Just tell me what the range is and I'll tell you if I'm okay with it. And then no matter what the range is, just say you're okay and move and keep going, because that recruiter can only say no to you. That recruiter can't say yes to you, meaning hire you and determine what you get paid. Not likely unless you're joining that recruiter's team. So that's what I would do. No one here. Is that what that is? No one here. Oh, yeah, no one here. I got 2 back-to-back interviews tomorrow, all thanks to using the free content from Andy. I've been preparing so I can actively sell myself. I love to hear it. Can we give no one here? I think that's no one here. A big live office hours clap. Lots of luck. All right, wait, we're 30 minutes in. I want to let you know about tomorrow for anybody who's interested. Well, first thing is, on the Zebra Code, I still have a 2-for-1 deal. I'll ship you 2 hard copies anywhere in the world for the price of 1. You don't even have to pay shipping. You just pay the retail price from me, and I'll just send it off to you. It's a great way to understand that methodology in much more detail than the free booklet that I showed you a little while ago. We have a leadership coaching program session tomorrow. In addition to the job searching stuff that I teach, I also teach leadership development, career development, and I'm going to give you a peek into the library. But tomorrow we're talking about building habits. I'm giving you my entire habit building formula, and I want to show you. If you want more information, Kara, can you swap the pin, put the leadership And I'm going to do this in like under 2 minutes here. Let's try to do this real quick. All right. So there's a page here. This is all about, well, this is what we've been doing lately. Negotiating higher pay. How about that? Performance reviews and reflection. And goal setting. That's how we ended the last 3 months of last year. We did your career planning session in January. This is February. It's about building habits. And March is going to be organizational stuff about planning and running your day. Basically, I teach you on these topics: lifestyle and wellness, organization, high performance, communication. There's tons and tons of that we've done: relationship building, team building, culture promotion. You can get more. The booklet that I showed you earlier is this. You can hit it here too if you fail to get it earlier. And I talked about the zebra code. And then anybody who jumps in on the subscription level gets the Career Accelerator program. That's a $400 value. Anybody who joins on the annual pack gets all 3 of these. I have a productivity challenge that's a really sweet course, and a goal setting masterclass. You get the idea. This is tomorrow at 11. It's let's see. How do I do this? It literally is over $5,000 of value. Just any which way you join. The year costs $297. That's a pretty good deal. Or if you want to just join, check it out. Join me tomorrow. I'll give you access to the entire library. It's $49 a month. And then the library looks like this. I told you I talk on lifestyle and wellness. So focus, willpower, energy, designing an essential life. This is all living stuff, right? Building self-awareness, healthy lifestyle. Y'all know I'm a health nut. Organization. So tomorrow, this habit building session is 6 years old, so we're going to freshen that up. But you get the idea. The success and high performance, we talk about confidence, being a high performer, being creative, making great decisions, setting the right goals. We talk about risk management on your projects. How do you set all that up? Becoming an ace at your trade, all that good stuff. I talked a lot about the issue people seem to have is I'm smart, but I don't feel smart. I don't feel successful. I feel like I have imposter syndrome. We spend a lot of time helping you overcome that with confidence building and leadership communication skills, and really helping you understand your trade so that you feel more confident. But there's lessons on that: overcoming limiting beliefs, fostering creativity in your environment. So you get the idea. There's tons on communication, everything you can imagine. Communication in general, handling difficult people, listening, persuading, getting what you want from people. Wouldn't you love that? How to prepare great talks, facilitation, business cases, presentations. You get the idea. And then there's relationship building, right? Being able to share you with the world. This is also great for branding you, but also just sharing you in daily and in informal and formal interactions. Networking, trust building, empathy. You get the idea. Hiring, coaching, delegating, right? The list goes on. There's something like 80 total lessons in there. And one thing that I want to ask you. So first off, if you're interested, that was probably 2 minutes. I don't know, 3 minutes maybe. We're live tomorrow, and everybody gets I give you a beautiful, well, you're not going to see all this, but there's a whole write-up and a whole bunch of, I don't know if you can see this real quick, a whole bunch of detail that I give you in a workable format so you can learn the lesson, practice the lesson. There's thought provokers, 4-week challenges every month, so that you can actually build the skill. But I have a question for you. There's a monthly subscription and there's an annual subscription, and we do have about 100 lifetime leaders, but I don't offer that anymore. So people paid a few years back, paid some money to never have to pay a subscription for that program. But I realize that some people don't want to try to keep up. They don't want to carve that much time out of their life to grow the skills. I totally get that. If it was up to me, you all would, but I appreciate you have lives and families and kids and pets and all that good stuff. But I have a quick question for you. And Kara, let me know if you've got my little poll ready. I want to poll you. This will take seconds, not minutes. But I was thinking, if I offered each month, I'm not going to do it this month, but I want to get your feedback on it. Would you be interested in just a day pass? Meaning there might be a topic there like communication or presentation or building a business case or building relationships or networking or building trust or habits or productivity or whatever it might be, that I would be interested in just that session. And so here's what I want you to do. If you're in the leadership program, please do not fill out the little survey. But for anybody who's not in the leadership program, could you fill this poll in? But I only want you to say yes if you are more than 75% confident that there is at least one session throughout the year related to those kinds of topics that you would want to participate in. I'm just trying to take your temperature to see, should I offer a day pass, so to speak, where you get to join me, kind of like a paid webinar. You get to come to that Zoom session that month. We do these every 4 weeks. So Kara, can you run that poll for me? And I just would love you in the chat if you could just say yes or no. Don't worry, you ain't gonna hurt my feelings. I just want to know if Kara, you having any trouble with the poll? If you're interested. But if you're 75% confident, there's the poll. So just click yes or no that you would you come to one? Do you think one? And oh wait, one other thing. It probably would be like $39 or something like that. $30, $39, something like that, because you're just getting to come to the one session. The $49 a month gets you access to all the replays and all the bonuses. Listen, it's okay to put some no's in there. So can you guys see, Kara, can they see the poll? Can you guys see the poll? It's like, okay, so you guys you would be open to the day pass thing because listen, I get it. I'm busy too, right? I understand. Okay, so it's dropping a little bit. That's okay. All right, so we're up at about 88%. All right, okay. I think I got what I needed. I was hopeful that it would be something like that. I realize, so we have people that get into the program and then they can kind of keep up for a number of months and then life interrupts, and I totally get that. And they say, Andy, hey, I gotta leave. I can't keep up. I'm not having the time. I totally get it. I love the stuff. I just can't work it. I get it. So I'm always trying to see if there's ways that we can get you some value. But I mean, some of the stuff I gotta charge you. I hope you know. So, all right, wait. I really appreciate you. Anybody who took the time to fill that in, that's really good. I appreciate it. And wait, and this is a good question. Dana, DFP, or can just join for a month as it's a month to month. Correct. So wait. So hold on. When you join month to month, okay. Anybody here's the best analogy I can give you. You know how you sign up for Netflix and you pay every month, but you can cancel at any time. And when you pay for Netflix, you get everything. You get all the movies. We get all the TV shows. We get the movies. We get the live streams. We get the whatever. My program works the same way. So this whole thing, if you pay $49 and join me tomorrow, if you pay $49, you're getting all of this. Okay, you get all of this. I don't hide anything from you. And you also get the Career Accelerator program. So for $49, you could join for the month and you could have access to that. And if you want to cancel, then you can cancel. So, but some people don't want to do that. They say, hey, I don't really have time, but I'm just interested in this one topic. And so I was trying to see if that was something you're interested in. And if you jump in for a year, it costs you half the price. I mean, it's only like $24 a month. I mean, but you pay one time, you pay the $297. And if you're a boot camper, you pay even less. You can pay a little bit less when you join the boot camp, the job search coaching program, because you have both programs. So anyway, you could jump in and out. I mean, that's okay with me. It's month to month. And then when you cancel, you get it to the end of your month. So if you join today, right now it's 12 noon my time. If you join the leadership, you pay $49. You get all that stuff. And then I don't want you to do this, but if you cancel it tomorrow, you still got a whole month of access to all that stuff. It's month to month. And then you won't be billed again. But if you cancel it right away, you'll still have access for the whole month until noon on whatever until March 20th. So that's basically what you would have. So anyway, and then this is the leadership coaching program in a book format where I basically wrote it all out. And then I gave you 15 really nice lessons. So Dana, that's a great question. It's yes. And yes, Liliana, $49 is a better deal. But some people, I don't know, maybe I make it $29 for the day pass or $25 for the day pass. I'm just wondering if you like the concept, because people say, oh, geez, I really like that, but I don't want to necessarily commit to a year. And that's okay. I totally get it. I get everybody's busy. I'm busy as all get out too. Okay, let's get some more of your questions answered. And if you got any questions about the program, and by the way, not next week. Next week I got a great live office hours for you, and the following week we got a really great live office hours for you. And then March 7th, I'm with members of my job search coaching program for all my boot campers who are here with me. We were on March 7th, on Friday, March 7th for our next session. All right, Kara, you got a few. Okay, here's some good ones. Marlise, what's up? Does proactive follow-up prior to last rounds decrease leverage when it comes to salary negotiations? So you don't need to follow up. Okay, if you're waiting for the recruiter or the HR person or the hiring official or whoever to call you to set the next round up, you don't need to follow up. If they said to you, would you please follow up with a 30, 60, 90-day plan, that's different. But does it decrease your negotiation leverage? So on the one hand, technically speaking, nothing decreases your negotiation leverage. You could say, I'm out of work. I've been out of work for a year. I haven't had one interview. You're the only ones I'm interviewing with. That still doesn't decrease my negotiation power, because negotiation leverage comes from here and here. So that's the one way to look at it. What y'all are concerned about is it's all the stuff in here and here that you're worried about, right? Meaning, if I don't have a job, or I hate my job, or I need to leave my job, or I need to find another job quickly, or whatever it is. But I don't even think about that. If it's me, I'm not calling them. I'm not following up for no reason. If they've asked you to do something, that's one thing. If they told you to check with them, if they say, hey, if you don't hear from me by, Friday the 21st, I want you to call me on Monday the 24th, that's fine. But I don't feel the need to do that. Darcy, what's up? Currently negotiating for a consulting opportunity. Awesome. Once I have the statement of work agreed to, any advice on how to establish the base pay? Understand how to calculate for taxes, just need to identify a base. So you could do a couple of things. Now, one of the things I don't know is how long is the consulting opportunity? That's one thing. The second thing I don't know is what exactly you're doing, because, right, certain things they should pay more. There's another component here is when you are a consultant, if at all possible, like as in this is your go-to, don't have them pay you by the hour, have them pay you by the project. Now, some of you can do that. I'm hiring you as a freelancer or consultant to build me this website, to create my new brand, to do this and that. You want to charge a number. That's it. Okay? Because again, going back to the premiere today, right? They're paying for the result. They're paying for the product, the output in all its glory. I don't care if it takes you 2 minutes to put it together or 200 hours. That's the best way. If you start breaking it down by hour, they think they're paying you for your time, which immediately drops value, okay? Because now I'm looking at you as $1 per hour cost. Instead of for 50 grand, I get a whole new brand. I get a whole new website. I get a whole new whatever, right? The value is more easily seen. When it's, well, Darcy, you're going to be $128 an hour. You look like $128 an hour to me. So I believe there's an iteration, and I would have them throw the number out. If they say, what's your rate? Then I would say my rate varies based on my contribution, my value, this, that, and the other thing. What are we agreeing to? What do you feel you would be comfortable with where I create this value? I'm going to help you achieve these goals. This is what I'm going to do. Here's how I'm going to lead the team, this and that and the other thing, whatever it is. What value would you place on that? How would you like to pay me per month, per week, it's better if it's per month. Like a set number is better than $1 per hour, because you don't want to be dealing with that whole, well, did you charge me and did you work overtime? You don't want to deal with any of that stuff. So the more aggregate you could get the pay, the better. Then let them throw the number out first. Well, for something like this, Darcy, we feel $10,000 a month is a good number. Then you go from there. Then you make your case. And so now, I don't know if I'm actually answering the question you wanted to ask, or that you were asking. Like, Andy, if I'm used to making 100, what should I charge? Well, if you're used to making 100 in salary, and of course you're getting benefits, vacation, and all that other stuff, you're going to mark that sucker up 25, 30% or so, 125, 130 grand, something like that. So, and it's not an exact science. And Darcy, wouldn't you know it? I have a video on my YouTube channel, and if Kara really is fast on her feet, which we know she is, and can we all give Kara a shout out for all the good work she does for us? Like what to consider when you're a contractor when it comes to compensation. There's a video, I can't remember the exact title, but if you just go to my channel and type contractor, it'll come up. Or even better, Kara might just put it in the chat for you. Okay. Wait, Darcy, hang on. Before we leave this, the consulting job is potentially full-time, setting up in-house design department for a facility in CN. I'm not sure where that is. Is that Canada? It would be CA. Or no, you don't want to be California. I'm not sure what that is, but they would like to have me long-term. It's not a dream job. Oh, I wouldn't even think about it. Get in. You know what the best interview is, Darcy? An on-the-job interview. Go from there. If look, folks, wait, Darcy and everybody, be where your feet are. Like, if you're just focused on setting that in-house design department up and showing them that you are the absolute bomb at this, like you are just the best, they're not going to want to let you go. Maybe they create a bigger job. That's what I do. That's what I think. All right, what else? Oh, Elena's got the cheers glasses. Kara's the best, isn't she? You know none of this works without her, right? Carlos is in the house. Robin's in the house. Lisa Hewell's in the house. I love it. Jessica, Darcy, Doug, Elena, Lisa, Andy, Adrian. Oh, man, you guys are all so great. I'm just reading up the chat, so if I'm missing anybody. Jill, Fleeson, Liliana, Dana. Dana's one of our beloved members. I so appreciate your attention, Dana. I know you work this stuff hard. Kelly Steele, what's up? Mary Lou. Oh, Candace, Kenneth. You guys are great. Michael Moore. How you doing? Gregory, Beatrice, Grace. Wonder where my mom and dad are. I got some stories coming up for you guys. I had to dig deep for these, but I'm not going to tell you today because they're coming soon. All right, let's see. What do we got? Tom Phillips. Seems the big question is know when to offer the discount to grow your career and when you have enough value to counter up the offer. Yes. Y'all, hold on. You got to remember this. I quit a job where I was making like about like $500,000 a year to make zero, to become a recruiter. And then I quit the recruitment job where I was making a lot of money. And I was doing double duty where the Mile Walk Academy was costing me money. It was taking money from the Mile Walk Inc. recruitment firm. $47 for a webinar and a resume review. Like, I was doing that, not because I didn't believe in myself, but because at that point, I needed to build up my case studies. I needed to build up the word of mouth. I needed to build the brand. I needed to build my sales skills. I needed to build my marketing skills. I needed to build my email writing skills. I was building all those things. So I'm all about, will this pay me in the long term? Okay, wait, hold on. Because I know what some of you are thinking right now. I'm 58, okay? I'm 58. I still think like that. The longer you give yourself, the better short-term answers you'll make. But here's the best part. The longer you give yourself in the way you think, the more risk comes off the table. $47, that was going to be short-lived, right? Because no matter what, I'm going to make the right things happen. Because I knew I had forever to establish the business. And right now, as I do new things, I'm not worried if this thing sells 50,000 copies in a week. Can I help 50 people? Can I help 5 people every week? Forever? Right. So it doesn't have everything all at once. It doesn't have to happen that way. But what I think what has happened to a lot of people is we get handcuffed because we need to earn a certain amount because we're living beyond our means. And by the way, if you can pay for everything you have and you can't save a lot of money, you're living beyond your means in my interpretation. But also at 58, I don't say, oh geez, I need to work only 7 more years and then enjoy my life. I would be miserable if I wasn't helping people. Absolutely miserable. Now, do I want to work 80 hours a week? No. But we keep going. You know this is going to come in the casket with me, right? Like, I'm going to still be talking and putting me in the urn or whatever to dust the ashes and, well, okay, you know what I mean. Brew, what's up? In order to increase your value during the interview process, do you recommend presenting territory plan or 30, 60, 90 day to the hiring manager? If so, when do you lay it out? Okay, wait, this is a great question. Jeff is a sales person for those that don't know that, but you probably might have gathered that. So here's what I'd say. I'm going to impress you based on all the things that I need to help you achieve as a salesperson or a sales manager or whatever it is that you're doing these days. And so, number one, if let's say you're in charge of sales or in charge of a territory or in charge of a region or whatever, if you're running a team, okay, well, you need to know how to sell and generate revenue. Show me how to do that. You need to know how to handle customers, even if you're not handling all the customers, strategic customers, or a customer case story. You need to know how to set up the machine. How do you set up the sales practice? How do you set the engine, the methodology? Do you coach the people or whatever so outputs through the sales team, if that's the case? If you're doing that, that's going to be a lot of dialogue throughout the interviewing process. If you get down to the end, even if you're just a bag-carrying salesperson or if you're a manager or whatever, the 30, 60, 90-day plan is usually, not always, asked for. Meaning, actually, I'm shocked if you're a salesperson of any level of seniority and you don't get asked for a 30, 60, 90-day approach. So I think they'll ask for it. Now, if they don't ask for it, I'm waiting all the way to the end. Okay? I'm waiting all the way to the end. Never panic and never bring out your queen too early, so to speak. So I get down to the end. I want to make sure everything has been discussed. They love me. if we get down to the end and I'm not sure and they haven't asked me for anything, in the final interviews, or at least that I think are the final ones, or we know we're getting close because I've already had a whole bunch, then what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, look, Mr. Hiring Official, uh, one of the things that's really important to me is that I just crush this job. And I want to make sure that this is the right company for me. I'm the right fit. And what I always do anytime I'm evaluating an employment opportunity is I put a 30, 60, 90-day plan because I want to make sure I can hit the ground running. I have that. I know you didn't ask for it, and I don't want to just throw it up here on the table, but is that something you'd like to discuss? Don't whip it out and put it in front of them. Don't put the binder, don't do that. And by the way, I'm not speaking contrary to what I say about, put your notes on the table, right? Those of you that read Interview Intervention, and that I'm a fan of being physically demonstrative with your homework. And I don't care if your 30, 60, 90-day plan's sitting on the table, but I just think, hey, I put this together. Can we discuss it? Isn't the right approach. I'm shocked when they don't ask for it, but if they ask for it, and this is the best part. If you're down toward the end and they say, hey, the last thing's going to be for you to come in and present a 30, 60, 90-day plan, you say the same thing I just said and said, I have that. So I did that for me to make sure that I was right, that I was in sync, and certainly something we could discuss before the interview process was over. So that's great to hear, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. So that's the way I approach that. And that's a great question because I just think every salesperson should have that. And you're going to have a standard one that you could just keep using over and over again and then just insert their stuff into your shell. Cool. Good luck, buddy. Okay, let me see if we could squeeze a few more in here. Robin Osborne. I get this one a lot. Can you discuss good options to include in a parachute package when negotiating salary? Should a lawyer be consulted? Okay. Should a lawyer be consulted is up to you. If somebody gets a coaching session with me and you show me what it is and I help you negotiate it and you give me the language and think, you don't need a lawyer. That's an option. Yes, an employment lawyer is good for you to look at it. That's absolutely no problem. If you got the dough, it's not a bad idea. But most people don't need one. And even very, very senior people don't even need one. But when it comes to the parachute, you want terms and conditions in there that cite, like, for any reason, if we get merged, if I get let go, if you whack out the team, if this becomes non-strategic, if you outsource, it's everything. It's like anything happens, you're going to give me money. The terms can be, you're going to give me a lump. You're going to pay me for X years. The terms could be stock. It could be bonus. It could be salary. It could be all at once. It could be distributed over, like, you're in the payroll for the next 2 years. I worked with a boot camper here the last couple of weeks, and we basically were going back and forth about the severance package that she was negotiating and how to do that. And there were also conditions related to, you might have guessed it, competitors and what you could do with or not with the competitors, as in, you can't steal anybody employee-wise, but you can't go to any of these competitors, or the competitors need to be listed. Don't let your employers just put in vague clauses like, and you can't go to any competitor for 2 years. Well, that's nonsense, right? Just because I'm at the competitor doesn't mean anything. And how do we know that that's truly a competitor? And most of the time, there's not one-for-one competitors. This one is a unified communications platform. This one has a unified communications platform. It has 18 other different products and services, hardware, infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. Like, well, are they competitors? Well, maybe, but right. So you want all that in there, that you're free and clear of that stuff. You want whether or not they will consider you employed, if that's a thing that you want, meaning if you let me go, until I find a job, I'm employed here on reference checks and so on, right? That gives you a little more comfort. You will serve as a reference. You will, there's a whole mess of stuff that can get written into that. And every company is a little different. And a lot of companies only do them for very, very senior people. Lisa Williams, yes, you are a boot camper. You're a beloved boot camper. Is taking a free online class to improve skills just as valuable to an employer as taking a paid class that provides a certificate in that skill? So this is what I would tell you. I'm going to answer for me, and then I'm going to answer for what I think employers think. I don't care. I don't care about certificates at all. Like, not at all. I don't even care. I'm like, all that stuff that's at the top or the bottom of your resume, I'm not paying any attention to that. I'm really not. If you got an MBA, maybe that's something, but I don't really put a lot of stock in these things, because applicability of those skills you have to how my life is going to transform. I'm not just paying you more because you took a class or because you got a certificate. That is not how it works. I know for my wife, who is a teacher, and I laugh about this every year because she's tenured, and then they have her grade, her degrees. She's a reading specialist now. She's got a master's degree, boom, boom. They look at some grid. If she left that school, if she went to a different school, which she won't because she's on her way to retirement, they would look and say, we're giving you credit for X. There you go. You're in the frame. You're in the box. We pay you this or whatever. And so, and you can never get fired unless you do something so egregious that it's on the news. Okay, so when I look at resumes of commercial players like you, I'm looking for job accomplishments. Now, however, now there's a woman I coach, actually I think she's here, so now I want to give you a different perspective. There's a woman I coached, Elena, who I think she's here. I think she was here. I thought I saw that at the corner of my eye. She is in marketing and has done a lot of non-digital marketing in certain areas of her career. And then she got a bit of a career gap. But during the gap, she went and got like really good certifications. Okay. Now, I like that because what that showed me is she's skilling up. And these were like legit certifications. Like these are like really great starting bases for if I need you to come in and you're somewhat familiar. The other thing it does is it gives the employer the perception that you are continually improving yourself. So from that perspective, I like it. One other thing, Yash asked me something earlier about he's 26. I think it's a he. He was 26, and hey, I'm not quite there yet. Well, if you had a certification for something that you took the time out and studied and got your certification in a language that you don't have any practical experience, but you actually had to go through some effort that I know because my engineers or my software engineers or my development engineers or whatever, I can make a relationship that the ones that have it seem to be doing better. I don't know. I'm going to give you some credit, and it's something that you can use to answer when you don't have the actual practical work experience. I know I don't, but I have gone to the certification process, and I know that it's just like this language because of this. And you connect the dots. So I don't want to totally poo-poo it, because I do think there are places for it, and I do think that it can help you. Not to mention, I do think that for your own benefit, learning is just good. You wouldn't believe the studying that I do. I mean, hours a day studying stuff that I need to learn about my life, about my health, about my business, about everything. All right, let me see. Folks, I gotta get rolling. If I didn't get to your question, I'm so sorry. But for everybody, thank you for joining the premiere. If you didn't see the little 20-minute video, I hope you catch it. Thanks for joining me here at Live Office Hours. Tomorrow, I'm with my leadership crew. If you want to get in, try it out. Actually, Dana, the woman who asked the question, you don't even have to pay $49. You can pay $39 and try it out because you're a boot camper. I give a discount to the boot campers. If you are a boot camper, make sure you email support@milewalk.com. That's the only way to get the discount. So you got to tell Kara, and she knows who the boot campers are. If you want to get in and try it, $49. If you want to try it for a year, $297. You get access to everything, and there's some extra training bonuses, training course bonuses if you get in on the annual membership. The annual membership, in my opinion, is the steal. It's about the effort you put in too, though. You need to make the time. So if you're not going to put the time in, don't get in, because I don't want you to be disappointed. Cool? All right. Remember, I once charged $47 to let you come to the resume workshop and to review your resume. I want you to think about that. And I want you to think about it because I want you to make smart decisions about when to invest in yourself and when to hold and stand fast. But if you're going to stand fast, you got to make sure that you know how to make the argument to the employer of the value you're going to create for them. Cool? All right. I will see y'all in your inbox probably tomorrow. I got another lesson. I think Tuesday, next week, Tuesday, Thursday, we're here with some interview coaching. It's always a ton of fun, folks. I hope you enjoy these as much as I enjoy bringing them to you. I'll see you soon. Lots of luck.